Hello students of literature, now drama. I have received most of your papers, poetry papers, and we'll be going through those in the next few days. I'll get those back, or at least a response and a grade back to you as soon as I can. Meanwhile, we're moving to the first of our two plays, the first being Oedipus Rex. One thing to know about Greek drama is first of all, you were enacting in a religious rite by just attending. The plays were put on during the festival of Dionysus, so there's a religious application. So you're all indulging in pagan worship here. Hope that's okay. The troupe, the acting troupe, would be 2 or 3 people, all men, that would play all the roles and switch parts by switching masks. So early plays involved masked characters and a chorus, and the chorus is probably the hardest thing to get used to as a modern student or watcher of plays. It's kind of akin to a voiceover narrative in a film. The chorus is there to add moral, historical, cultural commentary, and also to move the play along sometimes. Sometimes the chorus will come in and fill in a historical battle or scene. People watching these plays, these particular plays that we're looking at, would have known the stories. So it's not so much intriguing as to plot, but how it comes down, how the characters fall into their particular fates. And of course they would watch it in a stone amphitheater looking down on the action, and there would be 2 or 3 players playing the main roles, switching masks, and then you would have a chorus which would be the top 12 citizens. It would be an honor to be in that group. And the chorus of course speaks in unison and does various things, adding to the action of the play. It's probably the hardest thing to get used to, but I think you develop an ear for it. I'm hoping so anyway. Sophocles, 497 to 406 BC, remember time is going backwards. One of 3 great Greek tragedians, prize-winning playwright, Athenian citizen, general in the army. So often if you were a playwright or a writer or a poet, you would have other functions in society as well. He wrote some 120 plays, only 7 survive, and 3, the Theban plays, of which this is the first, are the most well-known. So we have Oedipus Rex, Oedipus at Colonus, and Antigone. Those are the 3 plays. Oedipus Rex being the first in the sequence, but being the second written. Oedipus Rex would be a well-known king in that particular period, also known as Oedipus Tyrannus. So he's not a king by succession, and you find out in the stories how he comes to be a ruler. Some people consider illegitimate, and this is a tragedy. And the Greeks wrote tragedies, comedies, and what they called satyr plays, which were sort of like farces involving animal characters and things like that. Later on, as the medieval playwrights adopted Greek tragedy on into the Renaissance, there would be tragedy, comedy, and then a mix of the two, what we call tragicomedy. And of course tragedy is always seeing the downward spiral of a particular highborn character, usually ending in their death, or as in the case of Hamlet or Romeo and Juliet, multiple deaths. And they were very popular. They were championed by Aristotle in his Poetics. And as I said, the Greeks would know the stories. They've read their Homer, and Oedipus has appeared in various historical writings. So he'd be a well-known character. And this is the story about a king of Thebes, Oedipus, who unwittingly fulfills a prophecy, kills his father Laius, and marries his mother Jocasta, which of course is how Freud got his Oedipal complex, or Oedipus complex, from this story. He gets the throne of Thebes after killing his father and solving the riddle of the Sphinx. He unknowingly marries his mother, which later leads to her suicide. This is all known before anybody sits down to see this play. His father also is subject to a prophecy. Apparently his father Laius has raped Chrysippus, the son of Pelops, the king of Elis, while serving him as a tutor. When Oedipus is born, Laius consulted an oracle that he would perish by his son. Remember, oracles are divine law, the sayings of the gods. They would be at sacred places and would be attached to various gods, the Oracle of Delphi being the most well known. So Laius gets rid of Oedipus due to the oracle, pins his feet together, and Oedipus just means swollen feet in ancient Greek. And through a series of plots involving his wife Jocasta, a servant, a shepherd, Oedipus is gotten rid of and ends up being adopted by King Polybus and Merope, rival kings, and is raised in their court. But here's rumors that he's not really their son. He himself consults an oracle and is told about the prophecy concerning his father and mother, and has to leave Polybus because he suspects that he will kill him if he stays, but ends up killing Laius in a roadside quarrel, which is his real father, unbeknown to him. Goes to Thebes, and Thebes is besieged by the Sphinx, and the Sphinx's riddle, which is sort of a woman lion / eagle type character. He solves the riddle, and the Sphinx throws herself from the cliff, and this is why he's awarded the kingship of Thebes and marries the dowager queen Jocasta, which happens to be his mother. So that's the backstory. I won't give you any more plot. The way that this unfolds during the play is interesting. Most of it's recounted by certain characters, so that sort of happened in the past, and it's revealed to Oedipus slowly. So he's blind in the beginning of the story and slowly begins to see the truth. And it's interesting because he puts out his eyes at the end of the play and makes himself blind. What I would like you to do, first of all, sign into this video. I sent you 2 versions of the play to watch. You can read the play, and I'm going to require you to analyze some speeches, so you're going to need to do some reading of the play. But you can also watch it in one of the versions that I've sent. I sent you a 1959 version, a very famous version, that's done all in masks, and they try to recreate what the play would have looked at the time of writing it. It's hard to get used to. It's strange. It will creep you out for a while, but I think you do get used to watching it, and you understand the function of the masks by watching that particular version of the play. So maybe watch some or all or part of that. And then also I sent you a 1980s version, which is a bit corny in places, being a 1980s production. It's a BBC production though, and they're revered, of course, for their literary masterpieces or treatment of masterpieces. I think it's a good version, and you get a good sense of the plot and the characters from that particular version. So maybe watch part or all of that one as well. So maybe just for the first couple of days this week, just read and watch some or all of the videos. Get a sense of the play, watching it and reading it, and then watch the second video, which I will include in the message to you, and I'll have a task, an in-class task for you to do in that particular video. We're going to move through this particular play fairly quickly. It's not overly long. You probably need a couple of sessions to read it, and an hour and a half to watch the play. So factor that in to your class time for this week. And I will send another video with a task for you to do. I'm going to assign characters to all 4 of you in the class, and then we'll try to have some sort of conversation about the play in the comment section of the video. So this is just a short introduction to the play, and go ahead and read parts of it and watch some of both versions so you can get a sense of how it's put on and the possibilities of putting the play on. And the difference between the 2 productions is rather stark, and we can talk about that on the next video. Alright, have a great time watching it, and I'll see you on the next video.